Okay, welcome back to the 29th episode of the Mayor's Mixtape. I'm Haley Sue Robinson, Director of Public Affairs for the City of Pueblo.
I'm Heather Graham, City of Pueblo Mayor.
This is Lucy, the first dog. She's making herself comfortable.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to remind you, you can listen on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Buzzsprout, wherever you get your podcasts, also on Channel 17. And if you have topic suggestions or questions, you can email us, mayor@pueblo.us. Mayor, last week we had a guest on the podcast. We had Mark Guerrero and talked a little bit about regional building and the city's relationship. And actually, yesterday you all went to Benton County and talked to some folks about potentially having an IGA with the city and regional building. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was like?
Yeah, we went to Benton County with Mark and had a meeting with their commissioners.
Okay.
And talked a little bit about what it would be like for our building department to also help them with their permitting process, plan review, etc. They're very open to it. It sounds like we're going to be able to at least find one partner.
Okay.
So we have many other communities to go and visit over the next couple of weeks. But they are building a $35 million school in McClave.
Oh, wow.
And they need a building department to come in and help
Inspections and reviews.
plan reviews, yeah. So,
$35 million, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's pre-K through 12, so
Okay.
we already have an MOU with them, so hopefully we can get them to partner with the City of Pueblo to be our third with the IGA.
Okay, wonderful. And I know one thing that has been discussed is that there could potentially be multiple partners, so not just Benton County. Are there other communities that you're looking to speak to?
Yeah, Cripple Creek, Huerfano County, maybe Boone.
Okay.
There's several.
Sure. So you'll be having conversations over the next couple of weeks, and then when would this all go into effect?
January 1. So the IGA with the county ends January 1, so we would start a new IGA with our new partners after that.
Great. And this allows then the city to continue our relationship with regional building. We currently have an IGA with Pueblo County, the city, and regional building, but we need to guarantee at least one other partner.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And then are there other conversations with these communities of how we can partner outside of regional building, or is that the main focus?
I would say right now that's the main focus.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, then we'll look for additional updates as those continue. Last night, we had a city council work session meeting. One thing in particular that was brought forward was a proposal from Councilor Martinez and a presentation with Chief Knoller for a reimbursement program for windows with local businesses up to $1,000. Can we talk a little bit about where this came from or why we would want to move this forward?
Sure. So over the summer, we've heard several business owners come in and talk about the ongoing glass break that they have at their businesses, and is there anything that the city can do? So we actually applied for a $50,000 grant to help businesses be able to apply for victims assistance so that they could get their windows fixed. We weren't successful in the grant.
Okay.
And so I think Councilor Martinez took, the grant application and what we had applied for, and came up with this project of using ARPA interest to pay for the glass instead of the grant dollars that we would have received. So it was the same amount. It was the same criteria that we applied for the grant. So this was a follow-up of an existing project that we had already tried to get.
Okay. And can you talk a little bit, when you mention ARPA interest, what does that mean?
Sure. So when the city took in $36 million in ARPA of 2022 and beyond. And so that money has been allocated to projects all over the city. Some of it is within our own departments for wastewater projects. So as the city holds on to that money until the money is spent, we generate about $70,000 a month in ARPA interest, depending what the fund balance is. And so we have about $700,000 right now in interest that we've accumulated over the last year and a half.
Okay, so this project, you mentioned that the grant we applied for was for $50,000, and Councilor Martinez's proposal is also just to spend the $50,000.
Yep.
Okay. And I know there was also discussion about potentially helping these businesses with insurance claims or ensuring that they go through the process for insurance claims. How exactly would this be facilitated?
So it's a reimbursable. So one of the examples that they gave last night was Solar Roast. They had their drive-through window smashed out. It cost the owner $304. So essentially the owner would pay the bill to have the glass replaced. They would just then bring that invoice to the city, probably through my office, is what Councilor Martinez has requested. We oversee lots of invoices.
Sure.
It's not anything new or weird. And we would then reimburse that amount to that business owner for glass break. They would have up to $1,000 cap, so it'd be unfortunate if they used the $300, and that was their one time, and then they had another window break for $600, and they weren't able to come to the city.
Sure.
And have that reimbursed. So that was something that she talked about, especially business owners who own multiple businesses in the community. It's $1,000 per business that they own that they're eligible to ask for reimbursement for.
Okay, so like in the example of, say, Solar Roast, we know they own multiple businesses. They have the Main Street location. They have their Northern Avenue location. They also have Nick's Dairy Cream. So all of those businesses would be eligible.
Yep.
Okay. And I think there was some hesitation or maybe even some pushback about what does $1,000 do.
Yeah.
But you gave us an example. So if that, $304 was spent on the drive-through window, and then let's say that maybe up to $2,000 of damage was done again, it at least alleviates $1,000 worth of damage overall for these businesses.
Yeah, I think it's a nice gesture to be able to help the community. President Aliff talked a lot about, we've heard from a lot of small businesses where $1,000 is make or break. $1,000 is your payroll.
Right.
And so you have the choice to fix your window or the choice to pay your employees.
Right.
And you're probably not going to fix your window at that point. And that's when the chief came in and talked about the broken windows theory. How crime is attractable to broken windows, graffiti, trash, blight. And so I think that this is just a small way that the city can come in and help. I mean, I applaud Councilor Martinez for even bringing an idea forward. We heard a lot of city council last night say, what's your solution? And then said, no, I don't like this solution, but
Sure.
They also don't have a plan. So I think that this is a great idea. I think it's a great use of ARPA interest, and I think it's a great way to help our small businesses.
Well, and especially when we have heard so many folks in public comment, I did think it was nice to hear maybe the distinction, like you mentioned, President Aliff said this probably isn't for large businesses. Not that large businesses would be excluded, but there are so many small local businesses that have been affected this way. And so if you really think about it, $50,000 could go a long way.
Sure.
It could help multiple businesses. And I think to your point about, or even the chief's point about the broken windows theory, if we take the opportunity to clean up the small things, it helps them not all stack up together.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited to see. I think that they have 4 votes to get this passed, just based off the comments last night. So I think it's a great program to help the small businesses in the community.
So then, as far as next steps, what does this include?
So it'll be an ordinance. I think it's not on first reading so it'll be the first and second meetings in October.
Okay.
And then people we have just a generic application, much like the one we do for the gates, and people will be able to apply to it and bring their invoices in once their windows have been fixed, and we'll reimburse them.
You know, and you mentioned earlier that this isn't like a new concept for the city to reimburse. I know formerly, before the city took over the Pueblo shelter, previously we were doing work there, and or there was work being done there, and they would bring us their invoice, and then we would reimburse. So it would work similarly in that way?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Great. So it sounds like it's a pretty equitable process, allows all small businesses to apply and take advantage of the opportunity.
You just have to be up to date on your sales tax.
Sure.
You have to have your certificate of good standing from the Secretary of State, which is, that's what you need to apply for a business license and be licensed within the city. So we're just keeping that same standard.
Those are kind of just typical qualifications for working with the city anyway.
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that come forward in October and hopefully getting some relief for some of our small businesses.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Great. Okay, Mayor, we have a lot of exciting upcoming events in the city. This weekend is the Chili and Frijole Festival. I know this is what a lot of folks in Pueblo would call one of like our flagship events. So right outside of City Hall in our windows, we're going to see streets full of people all weekend.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the Chili and Frijole Festival?
The smell.
Me too.
Yeah.
Friday afternoon when they're starting to set up, you can already smell the chilies roasting. And I think the other thing that's fun is even if you're not right downtown, right in the middle of the Chili Fest, you can still smell it
like you're driving on the highway and it comes through your air conditioned vent because it's so strong.
And then you just have to pull over and come visit.
Get some Pueblo chilies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're going to have good weather, so last year it was like snowing, sleeting on one of the days.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be nice all weekend, maybe chance of rain on Sunday, but hopefully it'll be nice weather.
Yeah.
And then we also have the Balloon Fest this weekend. I know that's always really fun to see those launch and go over the community, so we're excited to see that again. And then next weekend we have the Pueblo Wings of Pride air show. So we're excited about that. That'll be at the Pueblo Memorial Airport. And then you still have 2 town halls.
Yeah, one tonight. District 3.
Yes. And we did have a location change for the town hall. So it's at the George L. Williams Hall at City Park. And then next week will be your final town hall of September, and that's at the Barkman Branch Library. It's been pretty good attendance so far at your town halls.
Standing room only, yeah.
Yeah. And
lots of good conversation.
Great questions. We've had city councilors who have attended as well, and good feedback from the public. I'm assuming we can expect the same for the 2 upcoming town halls?
Yeah.
Great.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, good.
Come out and ask your questions.
Well, and I know you have district-specific information for each of the districts, a handout that you give everyone. What all do those handouts include?
So I put the CompStat report in for Part 1, crimes.
Okay.
That changes every week.
Sure.
So I give an updated version. And then I've been putting in the loitering tickets and the trespassing in the parks because those have been pretty high talking points when we're out at these meetings. talk a little bit about the crime. I talk a little bit about public projects and infrastructure that's happening. So whether that's paving or, tonight we're going to talk, I don't know if people are aware, but in District 3 on Northern, going to Beulah, you see all that pipe laying.
Yes.
On the side of the road, and you're like, what is that? What's your new wastewater upgrades for Jackson Ranch?
Yeah.
Maybe Jellystone, any development that's going to be coming in north of that area. So
great.
We're going to talk about that, talk about upcoming events. I have the ballot questions on there.
Sure.
Tonight I have the at-large candidates on there and District 3.
Okay.
So people will know that this will be what's on their ballot come November. I think, and cleanup efforts.
Sure.
That we have within your area.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And then you give folks the opportunity to ask questions or even give input for ideas.
Yeah, we spend the majority of the time taking input or questions. So my part's quick, 10 minutes.
Okay. And then answering all the questions from the folks. Great. Well, it's also live streamed, so if folks can't attend in person, they can watch on your Facebook page at Mayor Heather Graham. And if they're unable to watch live, they can always go back and watch those videos as well if they have questions.
Yep.
Perfect. Anything else we need to know about upcoming events in the City of Pueblo, Mayor?
I think you covered it.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay.
Well, I think that's it's a quick episode. It's a short one for us this week, but we'll be back next week with our 30th episode of the Mayor's Mixtape. Don't forget, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, Buzzsprout, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And if you have questions or topic suggestions, you can email us at mayor@pueblo.us. We'll see you next week.